Welcome back, everyone. In this video series, we are going to talk about performance optimization in React. Now, performance optimization in React is an interesting topic because a lot of people want to write code that is performant. In fact, that is the main goal for a lot of developers, is to make sure that not only is your application working, but it's very performant and provides a good user experience. But I do want to talk about a few things. The first thing being that you do not want to over-optimize your code when you start writing it. This is an incredibly important point that I want you to understand as a React developer. You only want to start improving the performance of your code or optimizing your code once you see there is a performance bottleneck. If you do not notice any slowdowns in your code, there is no reason to start optimizing ahead of time. The reason for this is because these optimizations have a cost. That is a very important thing to know. Optimizations are not free. There are trade-offs. When you optimize your code, you are essentially saying, I'm going to spend more time, not just your time, but the computer's processing and resourcing time to improve the performance of some part of my code so that later it's more efficient. A good example of this is when we think about our selectors. When you think about the fact that we're memoizing these selectors, this create selector call has a cost on the memory and it has a cost on the rendering time. When reselect is memoizing this selector, it's literally storing the output value in memory somewhere. And to do that storage, it also takes time. However, the reason why we think it's optimized is because we're going to make this selector call multiple times, and every time our component re-renders, we might actually end up calling the selector every single time. So if that's the case, then by memoizing this selector function, yes, the initial step might be a little bit slower, but in the long run, it's way faster because every subsequent call doesn't require us to redetermine what the value of that selector is. So there you can see already where the trade-off lies. We trade off in the beginning so that we get more optimized calls later on. So this is a very important thing I want to talk about. A lot of the patterns that we've been coding in and learning in throughout this course are designed already to give you very optimal code. The React library and the React team is constantly working fervently on figuring out how to make their application also more performant. So this is the thing you need to know about React's library. It's got a ton of stuff under the hood to try and optimize and get around a lot of these issues anyways. So knowing that, it's very crucial that you know moving throughout this video series that you only optimize when you see a performance problem. If there is no performance problem, do not optimize. Now, despite that, there are some tools that React has given us to optimize the code inside of these components. And we'll discuss that in the next video. So I'll see you there.